Hello everyone, this is Vidya Sagar, lecturer in computer science. In this video, I am going to explain you about the program number 11. Basically, this program is about the forms. So how we can create an HTML form, and in the form we have to include so many text boxes, password type of boxes, multi-line type of boxes, radio buttons, checkboxes, select menu, and an option for uploading the files. So these all are known as form controls. Very important for theory exam also. Okay, so in this single video I am going to explain about all these things, so please focus. I have a ready program, you can see here. So the first two lines are very easy. It's opening of HTML and the body tag, and you see here what we are going to develop is known as a form. Okay, so why we have to, why generally the forms are useful? So the forms are useful to get the data from the people, right? So I will just show you different forms. You can see here there are so many types of forms. You can see here it's a very basic form which is accepting these things, and you can see the submit button and the reset button, because once the data has been entered by the user, so user will be submitting the data, right? So for that, submit button is there, and if any mistakes are there in the form and the user wanted to enter the details again, then the user has supposed to click on the reset button. You can see this. And there are so many types of forms. So many things are there in the form, like this a text box is there, email box is there, password type of a box is there, and you can see here these are the radio buttons. So why these all things, forms are basically accepting the data from the user and sending the data to the server, right? So you see here, form must and should have some name. I gave the name as F1. See, as I told you, the form is going to have this submit button, right? So once the user click on submit button, the data will be forwarded. Whatever the data entered by the user will be forwarding to the server. Okay, so there are two ways of sending the data from the client machine, means from the user machine, to the server. So then one is get method and the another is post method. Okay, so here I am using the post method, get method and post method. So which one is very good? So I prefer post method, because if you are using the method called get to send the data, what will happen is, as soon as you click on the submit button, the data what is entered by the user, those are visible here in the address bar. Okay, and you can't send more data also by using the method called get. There are so many constraints are there, so that is the reason I don't want to use the method called get to send the data to the server. So I prefer post method. Okay, so next is target is equal to underscore blank. So in the upcoming session I will be telling you about what is exactly the target means. So whether the page has to show the outcome of whether the form has been submitted or not, or how all those things, whether things have to be in the same tab or new web page, new tab group, or what, that is something about the target. So we will discuss about these things in the next session, in the upcoming sessions. So what are the attributes you have seen? First, name attribute to get the name of the, to give the name of the form, and a method to send the data, and target slowly I will tell you. Okay, once I am done with this I will tell you. And action, so action is equal to, what is this? Action means, see, generally in the action value means in this double quotes we have to write the server address. Means once the user click on submit button, where data has to go, that address has to be written here. Hope you got my point. So form has been opened here, so form tag has been opened here, and you see on last I closed the form. So in between everything, in between these, the form tag whatever we have, so most of the things are form controls. We have to call it as a form controls. So this is a text box, form control, okay. Radio buttons, form controls, okay. So these all are nothing but these are the form controls. So let us try to understand various types of form controls what we have, okay. So you first of all see here, I have created actually one program. So you can see in this program there are so many form controls are there here. Name box is there, text box, and Aadhaar number is there. So basically this Aadhaar number is of what you say, a password type, okay. I mean, so if you type anything it won't be visible. So how to write? So this is a text box, whatever you write, say visible. Gender, male and female. So only one has to be accepted. So those are called radio buttons, okay. See, you have a radio. So you can listen to only one channel at one instance of time, correct? So I mean you can listen to only one frequency, you can't listen to multiple frequencies. So similarly here we have multiple options are available, but you need to select only one button, okay. So you have to select only one frequency, only one button, means these are called radio buttons, okay. This is just a label, okay, gender, okay, male or female, so like that. Next is, you see here, these are called check boxes. So there are three different types of check boxes are available here. So when we have to use the radio buttons and when we have to use the check boxes. So whenever you have an option to select the multiple, whenever there is a requirement for you to select multiple options, then use the check boxes. As a programmer, give the check boxes, okay. So if you wanted the web user to select only one option among the multiple options you have given, then you have to use the option called input type is equal to radio. It means radio buttons, okay. And this is about the select menu. So there are so many options will be available and you can select any one of them. This is something like a drop down menu you are providing here. So there is a tag called select tag is there, you can use a select tag. And this is this is also a text box where you can enter the text and you can see the text here. The difference between the normal text box and this text box is that you can enter large amount of data here. Then here you need to use a tag called input type is equal to text, whereas to enter large amount of textual information you have to use another tag called text area. And this is for uploading the file. So whatever the file if you wanted to upload, so just give this option. So I'll show you that option also, and this is regarding the date. And finally submit and reset buttons, okay. So just see the program for a while and I will show you the program and try to understand something. Within 1 minute I am going to explain the entire program.
I want to go.
Okay, so now see here, this program research on payments. So this is the heading I am giving. So center tag we have to use, and see the research on payments, this text is coming with some bold style and the font size comparatively. You see this word name and this word research on payments. So there is a difference between the size, font size, right? So this is possible by using the heading tag H2. So H2 range from 1 to 6. H1 means big heading, H6 means small headings. So research on payments is a heading I am taking to my form and I am keeping it in the middle of the web page. And after that, 2 new lines I am taking here. You can notice that there is some space here. It is just because of the BR tag, break tag, I am using it twice. And one English word I am putting, just the word, it is just a simple English word without any styles. How it appears? It appears like this. And immediately after that, you notice here, immediately after that one text box is there. Immediately I am taking the text box. I am not putting the text box in the new line. If I would have been using the break tag, then this box will come in the new line. So I don't want this box to come in the new line. So I feel this is appropriate. So just beside the name, the box has to come. So that's why I am writing without BR tag, I am writing input type is equal to text. This is very important. Type is what? So type is text. So type is text means it will allow your users to enter the textual information. Okay, and next, see, these things are say name and ID. Name, okay, I didn't write the ID here, right? So okay, I will give some ID. Say for example, ID is equal to NA. Okay, any ID, okay, just to identify. So every form control must and should have some ID. So this also should have some ID, this also should have some ID. So like in your college you might have some ID, right? So why ID is required? For unique identification, right? So there are so many form controls you might use. So for every form control there should be a separate identification. So that's why you have to give some ID, and please make sure that this ID, whatever you are writing, it should not repeat to any other ID, any other form control. So name, so we have to give any name. So next size, you see size is 30. So okay, what is meant by size 30? Okay, so first of all let me give this size as 10 and just see here, I'm reloading the page. So what is size here? So it is just the width of the box in just appearance only. So how much ever you write the data, it will take, it's taking the data here. So how many characters it is taking? 10 characters it is taking. Physical appearance and the number of characters, how many characters you have to store. Say if you give 50 and say reload the page, so the box also will be lengthy. Okay, and you can type how many characters? So 50 characters you can type, and see, still you can type only 10 characters here. Okay, maximum length is how many? 8. So 8 means what? Only 8 characters you can type. You can't type more than 8 characters. That's the meaning. So what is size 50? So 50 means physical appearance. Okay, the box width. Okay, size is nothing but the width of the box. Max length is what? How many elements you can, how many characters you can enter. Okay, so next you see here, I am reloading the page, and that's it. So 3 is max. Okay, and required in the sense, you know, it is a mandatory field to be filled. That's simple. So once you click on submit button, so if the data is entered into this form control, then only data will be submitted, otherwise it will not be submitted. So I think you got some idea. So input, what is it? Type is equal to text. It will allow text to information. ID and name, this is common for almost all the form controls. Please remember. So I will not explain this again. So give some ID which should not repeat with any other ID, and give some name, so it should not repeat with any other name. Just remember, size is the width of the box, physical appearance, and max length is what? How many number of characters you can enter. Okay, say for example 30 characters, like this. Next I am okay, just remove this, and I don't want to take this. Yeah, you take here Aadhaar number I am taking here. Okay, so Aadhaar number, input type is equal to what? Password. So dear students, if you write the word type is password, so what will happen? The data will not be visible. That's it. That is only the difference here. Okay, let me show you. Yeah, age I removed. Okay, so if you want you can use it. Okay, let me keep that also. Age I am taking here. Input type is equal to, if you write a number, it will allow only numbers. Please remember, if you type number, it will allow only numbers. Okay, and some name you are writing, some ID you are writing, and here max, so minimum value I am writing. Minimum is equal to something like say 18, and max is equal to something like 38. Okay, so now let's see here. So what's the minimum value? From 18 only it will start. So maximum value 13. Okay, so if you try to write any other number also, it won't actually, data cannot be submitted, because the minimum and maximum conditions were clearly specified. Please remember this. Okay, and now Aadhaar number, if you type anything, it won't display anything, because it's in mode called type is equal to password. And please remember, ID and common same. Please give some ID and a name. Again. I cannot say, because it's common thing for every form control. Okay, so Aadhaar number is done. So I think you are good to understand these three things. Input type is equal to text, means text box will come. number means number box will come, password means password box will come. Okay, so I think we are done with the three things. Next, I am displaying a word called gender. Gender, and you see here male and female are there, right? So same thing, input type is equal to just give the radio. That's it. So see, this is what you are giving. This is what radio button. After button, what is there? The word male is there. See, after word radio button, male is there. Okay, so gender is just a normal English word, and then it's taking a new line. You can see here gender and break. So next line, what is appearing? This is appearing. What is this? This is a radio button. Radio button. Type is what? Radio button. Some ID is giving, some name is giving. And did you notice here checked? Checked means what will happen? By default, that will be selected. Okay. So if I remove this, just a second, let me. Okay. So I removed checked option, right? See, there is no checking. Okay, now you can select only one. So by default, nothing is selected. Okay, so reloading the page, so nothing is selected. But if you write the word checked, okay, so what will happen? So now I am reloading the page. See, this is by default selected. So checked is for that purpose. And the next line, BR tag, break tag. Next, one more radio button you are putting. And what is the name you are giving to? Beside that, female is the name you are giving. Okay, so female. See, female. Okay, so next again after that two new lines you are taking, and this is very important. This is called checkbox. So now you are writing the checkbox. So some English information I am providing here. What is that? Which of the following online payment apps are used by people? So after that a new line, what is appearing? One checkbox is appearing. Okay, with just beside the checkbox, what is there? Paytm is there. Okay, now see here. See, English information is there. Next line, checkbox is there, and just beside the checkbox, one word Paytm is also there. Okay, so next again second line, it's in next line, means BR tag is using here. Okay, so next line checkbox is there, and one more checkbox is there, and one more option is available. And again you see one more, again in a new line, one more checkbox is there. Yes, and next one more option is available. And after that again two new lines, some other thing is coming here. Okay, but here one of the important thing you have to remember is come back to the gender, I mean radio buttons. See, the IDs must be different. Please remember, if you okay, let it be like this. See, now you see here I can select only one option, right? If IDs are same, what will happen? You can select, see, after reload the page. IDs must be different. Okay, this is very, very important. ID you have to use, compulsory IDs you have to use with a different name. So sometimes the versions, the different browser versions, they will select two things. So that is not correct, right? So radio button itself is for only selecting one option. So sometimes it won't work. We have to be very careful. So that's why give the different ID and different names. Okay, next go back to the this point here. This is very, very important. Some English statement I am putting. Select which one do you use most. Okay, so one English statement I am putting. Select which one do you use most. And just below that you see this is I am getting a drop down menu. What is this? Some menu I am getting. Okay, so I may use net banking more, like that. So some kind of a menu I am getting here, right? So how to get that menu? Okay, so by using the select command, very, 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 very important. Please try to remember this. Okay, so in select, see select tag opening, select tag closing. So in between select tag, we are writing the options whatever we wanted to display here. Okay, so what are the options I am displaying here? Google Pay, Paytm, credit cards, net banking. Okay, so Google Pay, see here, Google Pay, Paytm, credit cards, net banking. So these are the options in that menu, right? So that's why option. Okay, so option is what? So some value you have to write. Okay, so value is equal to v1, v2, v3, different with different names. You have to give the values. So in between the option, what you are writing? Google Pay, Paytm, credit cards, net banking, like this you are writing. Okay, so and one more thing you remember here, so this also must have some name and some ID. Okay, so ID should be there. ID is equal to so something I am writing here, ID, and ID and name is common for most of the form controls, right? So some ID and some name you give. Size, okay, so say for example size is, say if you say 10, just imagine if you say 10, see how many, I'm sorry, yeah, just give me a second. Yes, you see here size. See now what happened? Size is 10 means the width, the height of the select menu is decided based upon the size. Say if you say 3, now see here what happens. See 3 are readily displayed to you. Okay, and did you notice here one more thing? I am writing one word called multiple. See sometimes if you wanted to accept the multiple options from the user in the select menu, okay, so for example just press on control button and say select another one. So now 2 things are selected. So if I wanted to select one more, so I can select one more also. So if you are expecting your users to select multiple options among the options what you are providing under the select, okay, so you have to use the word multiple. If you remove the word multiple, only one option has to be selected by the user. Okay, so see here only one option, any one only. So even though you press on control, so control, I am pressing on control, but it's not working because it can't allow you to select the multiple. But if you want your users to select the multiple options, then you can use the word multiple. Okay, like this. So select, ID and name is common, size, so how many options it has to display in the web page, multiple for selection of multiple options. So these are the options what you are providing in the select menu. Okay, and select closing is done. After 2 new lines, what you are doing, you are taking one more English word suggestions, and in the new line you are writing some text area. So dear students, text area is to accept large amount of textual information from the user, multi-line. Okay, so in the question also they are asking multi-line text input. So this multi-line text input is possible by text area. So how many rows? 6 rows. It means, dear students, 6 lines. Okay, so just see here, so 6 lines of information. Okay, and the width, so now it comes to the length, columns. Okay, columns means 50. Okay, so now you make it to 10 only. I will just show you. So it is about the width. Okay, now see here, see, very less. See now if you start typing the data, it will come into the like this. Okay, so this is also specific amount of data only, I mean limited data only it will accept. So if you wanted to increase it, so you just increase the number of rows and columns. Okay, so if you increase the number of rows and columns, then according to that your box is provided. So for this also I think you need to use ID. Say ID is some ID you are giving, ID and name, and the maximum length means maximum 1000 characters it is allowing you to enter in that box. Okay, so this rows and columns is about the physical appearance of these text area box, whereas it is allowing maximum length of 1000 characters. Okay, so hope you got my point. And next, uploading the file. It's a very simple, some English information, and after that input type is equal to what? File. If you write file, so it will allow, say ID, I'm sorry I forgot the ID. So ID. Okay, so ID, some ID and name. ID and name is common for every form control, please remember. Input type is equal to file means what? Say it comes like this. Okay, so it comes like this. So choose a file. So now file chosen. Okay, so now I'll choose this file. See that file has been selected here. So file chosen. See no file chosen word is also gone. It means file has been chosen, right? Okay, next you see here this date is not asking, but anyhow just See, we are covering the more form elements, so let's take the date also. Next you see here, when did you receive this form? Okay, so input type is equal to, just write a date. So very important thing is what, type is equal to date. Okay, and ID. Okay, ID, say DA, date. Okay, so something I have written here, date, and some name I have given here. Okay, so type is equal to date format. Okay, so what will happen, it will just show the date format. So calendar will come automatically, you can select. Okay, so according to the requirement, and you see scroll down and say 2019. So some date, if you wanted to select, you can select like this. Okay, so date format also done. Next is what, button. Very important. Finally we came for the button. Okay, so button, what I am taking directly, button I am taking the name of the button, and ID, if you wanted to give any ID, please give the ID, and button name, some button name should be there. What is the button name? Submit. What is the button type? Submit button. Button type is submit, dear students, please understand. Okay, and I am closing the button here. Please see, I am closing the button here. Okay, so button is having some name and some ID. Type is what? Submit type. The type of the button is submit, and in between this button tag I am writing some label. Now whatever you write here, this is going to be displayed over the button. See, and similarly I am taking one more button. Button name is B2. Type is what? Reset type. The type is what? Reset type. And in between the button tag, what I am writing? Clear and fill again. This is the sticker. This is the label which you would like to display over the reset button. The button what you are adding actually. So see here. That's it. Okay. So finally we are closing the form. So how many form elements we have seen? Form elements, form controls, meaning is same. So first thing is form name is there, and how the data has to be sent. How the data has to be sent to the server, that get or post method. Next target. So target, slowly I will tell you. In this session only I will tell you. Just give me a second. Action means to which website, to which server, what is the server address the form has to be sent, and this is the heading we are taking for the form. And you see here, name is English text, and type is equal to, this is form control, text type, form control, number type, form control, password type. Type is equal to text, number, password. That's it. Very simple. Okay, and you meanwhile you just go through the gender and password. 1 second. English statement, and input type is equal to radio. So these are radio buttons. So 2 radio buttons I am writing. So just beside the button I am taking the word male. Just beside the button, female. I hope you are getting my point, right? So next what I am taking? I am taking the check boxes. Next, select menu. This is called select menu. Next, text area. Text area is useful for taking large amount of textual information. This is for uploading any file. This is for uploading any date. These are the 2 buttons. And there is the sticker. I mean, what label. So what information you wanted to display. So basically that will come here. Okay, now finally come to the target now. Target is equal to, see there are so many types of values are there for target attribute. So form is a tag name is a attribute, name is attribute, and F1 is value. Method is attribute, post is value. Target is attribute, underscore blank is the value. Action is attribute and its value. Values are always in the double quotes. Now for target attribute, why we have to use underscores blank? What will happen is when you click on the submit button, the response will be displayed in the new window or new tab. Please remember. Next, if you write underscore self, self, self means, see, you will be clicking on the submit button, right? So once you click on the submit button, so within the same tab, within the same frame, okay, same frame, the output will come. So something like, your form has been submitted or something like that will come. Okay. So if you want that type of a confirmation or the response will come in the same tab, then use the target underscore, target is equal to underscore self. Dear students, if you don't write anything also, by default self is the target. Self is the type of the target. Please remember. Okay. So that's it about the form elements. Very, 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 very important for theory and practical part. So I think I have given enough insights regarding the form. Okay. Right. Thank you all of you. Have a good day.